everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. In this video we are going to be replacing the starter in a Jeep Wrangler TJ. Alright, so right now when I turn the key, this is what I get. So this is a relatively quick install. These are the parts you're going to need. 14mm, 13mm, and an 8mm socket. You're going to need your ratchets, and then I do recommend extensions as well. I do recommend a swivel extension for that bolt that's on the back of the starter. It's just going to make it easier to get to. And obviously, your new starter. So the very first thing that you're going to want to do before you start this install is disconnect your battery. You can simply just disconnect the negative side. So the next step in the process is you're going to remove the battery wires from the starter itself, and that's going to be these two bolts right here. This is the 13mm and this is the 8mm. So you're going to repeat that process with the bottom bolt, which is the 8mm. So after you have both of those bolts removed, you can go ahead and remove this wiring harness. You should just pull right off. These washers will probably pop off with it. Set that off to the side. Alright, so the next thing that we need to do is remove the two bolts that are holding the starter in place. They are the 14mm. There's one here. And if you follow the starter around to the back side, you get around here, there is another one right there. Get my finger out of the way. Right there. There it is. I would recommend trying to get the back one out first, and for this one you'll need the 14mm and that flexible socket as well. So once you get that bolt out, just hang on to it. You'll probably need that one later too. Alright, so coming back over to the front side of the starter, we're going to remove this last bolt. So you're going to notice when this last bolt starts coming out, the starter is going to want to drop on you, so just be prepared for that. Oh, maybe not. It's actually sitting up there in place. It should be loose though. Yep, there it goes. Alright, just take that one out. Alright, so the next thing that you're going to want to do is get your new starter put in place and lined up with the flywheel. And then I would recommend getting your bottom bolt in. Just to hold the starter in place. The bottom bolt is the longer of the two bolts that you had removed. And we'll take our other bolt, which is the smaller of the 14mm. Get it lined up with the hole back here. Alright, once you have your back bolts fully tightened, you can go swing back around to the front here and tighten this one up. Now that we have the starter secured onto the engine, we can go ahead and hook back up our cables here. Alright, once you get that one tight, you can switch back to the 8mm socket, and then we're going to do the lower bolts and nut. So essentially it's just two bolts, the one here, the one on the back side, and then the 2 nuts right up there that connect to the battery. So now we just had to reconnect the battery and see if it starts. All right, moment of truth. Let's see if it starts up. There you go. All right, well, there you have it. How to replace a starter in a Jeep TJ. Takes about 30 minutes. Really, you just gotta know what size sockets you need. 2 bolts, 2 nuts, and like I said, comes out pretty easily, and the new one goes in pretty easily. Make sure you save your old one to take back to the parts store to get your core charge back. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing.